Hey everybody, Bobo Foot here, back again for another episode of the Master Series. This time we're going to be covering Republic Offensive Phase 2. So as before, we're going to start off by looking at fleet, and here we're going to look at the platoons. You can see we still have the Galactic Republic units here at the top, then we have the Rebel units, but I've also this time prioritized the Resistance fleet units, or the units you would use for a Raddus fleet, just because that fleet can also get it done for the combat mission. So it is going to be worth your time looking to see if you can actually complete the combat mission with a Raddus fleet. If you have a very good negotiator fleet, it is recommended that you have a go at the special mission. You're going to need negotiator, and you're going to need Anakin Starfighter, as that is your key ship for this mission. You're then going to want a tank ship, so whether that's your BTL Y-Wing or Clone Sergeant. BTL Y-Wing is the superior ship, but you can get away with Clone Sergeant. You can then choose whether you want to have Rex or the second tank up front. Rex is more powerful as he lets you feed turn meter to Anakin, but it's possibly not essential. For the reinforcements, you're going to want one of those attackers off of the bench as an option, whether that's Fives' Umbaran Starfighter or Ahsoka Tano's Starfighter. Then you can choose Jedi Consular Starfighter, probably not all that relevant. You can then platoon it if you're not going to use it. And if you didn't take Rex's Arc 170, you can take Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter as a reinforcement. By just taking either Rex or Plo and either Umbaran or Ahsoka, it allows you to platoon the other unit, which is going to help the rest of your guild in being able to have a good shot at this special mission and get that very valuable get to for your guild. The next thing we're going to look at is the combat mission. You have two options for the combat mission, and we're going to start here with the Rebels Home 1 fleet. You really need to have Han's Millennium Falcon with good relic levels on your Han and Chewbacca, like at least 5. And then your Biston's U-Wing. Ideally, one of your Scarif Rebel Pathfinder or your Biston will be at Relic, probably around the Relic 5 mark, and the other will be at Gear 12. Ideally, you're going to put 6E mods on them. They don't have to be good 6E mods, they just need to be 6E for the stat increase. That's going to give you a massive jump to the speed, and obviously with the unique of the ship, you get even more speed out of that. You then either want Rebel Y-Wing or Biggs's X-Wing as your tank, and then your reinforcements are going to be Cassian's U-Wing, and if you need some options, you can take Phantom or Ghost, or both if you feel like it. If you take the Rebel Y-Wing, this does free you up to platoon Biggs. For someone who might not have the Rebel Y-Wing or feels a bit more comfortable if they have both the tanks. So that is worth a consideration here. So the second option for the fleet combat mission is to use an Amilyn Holdo Raddus fleet. It's important that you have the Rebel Y-Wing, Poe Dameron's X-Wing and Rey's Millennium Falcon as your starting 3 units, and then your reinforcements of Biggs's X-Wing, the Resistance X-Wing, Ebon Hawk and Lando's Millennium Falcon. This is going to allow you to platoon those ever so important Rebel ships, obviously except for Biggs's X-Wing, and frees that team up for someone else to be able to use the full power team who might not have this team in a reasonable position. I haven't tried this team myself, but I have seen people post videos on YouTube and talk about it on Discord, and they've had good success with it. So I'm going to be giving this team a go on my stream during the week. So now let's talk about the ground battles and the platoons you're going to require for that. They are pretty hefty in this phase. You've got 8 Rexes, 5 Jedi Knight Rebans, 13 Shaak Ts, 11 CLS. But as you can see, like, we've broken this down here into the Jedi Galactic Republic units here. Then we have the Rebel units also on the top line, and then all of the Resistance units on the second line, as they're really the key units you need to look at and think about when you're splitting your roster and what you can give back to your guild to allow other people who have a not as good a roster as you to have a better shot at performing at a high level. So the first mission we're going to look at is the General Skywalker Ahsoka Tano combat mission in the middle. This mission can be tricky, but with this modding, I think you're going to increase your chances of getting a minimum of 3 waves, possibly 4 waves. So what you want to do is have either 3 health sets or 1 health set with an offense or crit damage set on gas. Personally, I think that the offense set with a health set is your best bet. You want to aim for about 290 speed, 100k base health, and 192 to 222% crit damage. Obviously that's going to be based on if you're using a crit damage set or not. You're going to want a speed primary on your arrow, a crit damage primary on your triangle, and then health primaries on both your cross and your circle. For Ahsoka, we definitely want to have 3 health sets with a health primary on the arrow, the cross and the circle, and then a crit damage primary on the triangle. We're looking for about 90% crit, 230 or higher speed, and 78k or above health. I'll say this team and this mission can be tricky, but I think with this modding, you can definitely get it done. The next thing we're going to look at is the middle Galactic Republic only combat mission. Your optimal team here, probably not a team the majority of you have, but if you do, this is the team to use, is Jedi Master Kenobi lead with Hunter, Echo, Wrecker and Tech. This team is super powerful. It's going to have no problems getting through that mission. I would be very surprised with any sort of reasonable modding on the Bad Batch characters that you wouldn't get 4 waves. Other viable teams are the 501st clones of Rex, Fives, Echo and Arc Trooper. With any of these 3 leaders, that's Jedi Master Kenobi, Shaak T or Padme Amidala. With Jedi Master Kenobi, again, pretty straightforward 4 waves. With Shaak and Padme, you can get some bad RNG, which can really screw up your run. But generally, especially with Shaak, if you get out of wave 1 with Shaak and the enemy team doesn't delete 5s before anyone else, you're very likely to get at least a 3, probably a 4 wave. Padme's a bit tougher, but still things can happen with Padme and you can get a 4 wave completion. The other options for the super whaley among you is a full Bad Batch team or a Bad Batch team with Shaak T, Padme Amidala team with Cat, General Kenobi, Ahsoka and Jedi Knight Anakin, or a Padme team replacing Cat for C-3PO. Those 3 teams, either harder to put together or not quite as powerful, but still, if they're what you got, this is really your best options for getting there. The next mission we're going to look at is the Jedi Combat Mission in the Southern Zone. Very much like Phase 1, your best team is still Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, Grandmaster Yoda, Shaak T, Old Ben Kenobi and Jodie Bindu. People may think that Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker isn't as powerful as he was pre-nerf in TB, and while it's true, he doesn't deal as much damage. The team still sails through for 4-4, no problems. Again, we have these create your own options where you have one of the powerful leaders, a healer, a tank. Worth noting that your Jedi Master Luke and Platoon, unless Jedi Master Luke is in the leader slot, will need Shaak Ti's first special to force taunting on them, whereas Old Ben doesn't. 1 to 2 damage dealers, Ki-Adi-Mundi, fantastic. And then the other 2 are leaders here. Most people don't have Ezra, but also a solid choice, as is Grandmaster Yoda. And then 1 utility option like Aayla Secura for her very powerful stun synergy, Shaak Ti because she has a lot of sustain, and Bastila because she adds that extra buff, well, couple of buffs to your team, more turn meter, more damage, does help out. So now we're going to look at the combat missions if you have Galactic Legend Rey. Well done, you've got a fantastic unit there. So the optimal team you can use really is IG-11 with Han Solo, Commander Ahsoka Tano and Chewbacca. Very powerful team, more anti-crit synergy, more sustain, a very good tank, and Commander Ahsoka Tano adds another dimension with the extra annihilate every single wave. Fantastic team, very good to use, very easy to use, very powerful. You then have the option of using Rey with the Bad Batch or Rey with the 501st Clones. Both teams very strong, lots of sustain, lots of control, great at beating up droids, fantastic compositions. Then my personal favourite is Rey with Hero Finn, Hero Poe, Holdo and Finn. Sometimes it can go wrong and you can have someone important get deleted in Wave 1. But if you go into Wave 2 with this team all alive, you're going to cruise through. And the last option, I love this team. I love this team from the perspective of what it allows you to platoon. And I love this team just because it's fun to use. And that's Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, Grandmaster Yoda, Aayla Secura, and then Commander Ahsoka Tano and Rey. Super powerful, whirlwind, force leap, massive turn meter gains from Grandmaster Yoda, stuns from Luke, stuns from Aayla. Really powerful team, super great, super good to use. And I'll definitely be showing that one off on the stream. So the next thing we're looking at now is the South Combat Mission. Or if you don't have Rey, you might be looking to use one of these teams in the midsection combat mission as well. So I think your optimal team here is your Jedi Master Luke Skywalker with Hermit Yoda, one of Bastila or Shaak Ti, so you have that dispel for the droideka, and then some powerful units to round the team out: Ki-Adi-Mundi, Aayla Secura, Jedi Knight Revan, and the underappreciated Platoon. His second special for this team is fire. Just a massive TM influx, lets you get around to those extra assists, which is even more turn meter for your team. Fantastic. Your next other teams that are viable, CLS with the core package of Chewbacca, Han Solo, 3PO and Chewie, then either C-3PO or R2-D2. C-3PO is going to be your better unit, of course. The expose on basic synergy fuels a lot of turn meter. He adds damage to the team. He adds more assists to the team. He's a great unit. R2-D2 doesn't quite add the same dimension as C-3PO does, but he's still going to do a lot of work for you. Both teams very capable of getting 4 waves done. The only thing that really stops this team is General Grievous in Wave 4. Another team I love to use, especially if you don't have to platoon C-3PO, is Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, R2-D2 and Resistance Hero Finn. Then your 5th slot, C-3PO, Resistance Hero Poe or Rey. Poe is the worst option of the 3 there. C-3PO in my opinion is the best option. This team just needs to get going. If your BB-8, R2, C-3PO go before the enemies and your R2-D2 does the AoE and gets a lot of exposures so you can control the enemy turn meter, you can get off to the races. If you get out of wave 1 with everyone intact, you're going to generally cruise through the first 3 waves, and then the 4th wave really depends on if you get Grievous. He's the only thing that's going to stop you. You could then use Jedi Knight Revan, Jolee, Hermit Yoda, Bastila Shan, and an attacker. I've listed Cam here, but any sort of attacker would work. It's not going to be good waves, but if it's the best you've got, you're still going to be able to get a couple of waves out of the team and help your guild out. And then the last team we've got here is Mon Mothma, Pow, Cara Dune, 3PO and Chewie, and then either Hoth Rebel Scout, Cassian Andor, Biston. You can replace 3PO and Chewie for one of these other units at the end here, or maybe you could use K2 or another of the good Rebel fighter units. I don't have this team set up, so I haven't got a lot of experience with it, but I hear good things about it from friends of mine, and yeah, if you've got this team geared up, could be worth giving it a go, especially if you can get a very solid speed set going on Cara so she can get out of the gates flying. So in my opinion, if you've got one of those top end rosters where you have the Bad Batch, Kenobi, Cat, etc., and you have Biston's U-Wing in a good shape, I think these are the splits for you. You want to do Home 1 with the Rebel package for the Fleet CM, and then Negotiator for the Fleet SM. Obviously you're going to have to use gas for the gas mission. You would then use Kenobi Bad Batch for the Galactic Republic mission, Rey 501st for the mid CM, Jedi Master Luke with these Jedis listed here for the South Jedi CM, and then for the South CM, that lovely team of Jedi Knight Luke with Cat, Jolee, Old Ben, and Grandmaster Yoda. It's a fun team. And this also gives you the option that if you want to, you can try the special mission with General Kenobi, Cody, and Clone Sergeant, but very few people will have success with that. It's probably not even worth your time. With those splits, you're going to be able to do some very nice platooning. You're going to be able to drop Biggs' X-Wing and the whole Raddus package. From the ground units, you're going to be able to platoon key units like Shakti, BB-8, C-3PO, Commander Luke Skywalker, JTR, Jedi Knight Revan, Holdo. I've put Grandmaster Yoda here, but I'm pretty sure I've put him in the split, so that's a little mistake. R2-D2, Han Solo, Finn, and that really is going to open up some great options for the rest of your guild. So if you're someone who maybe doesn't have a very good Biston's U-Wing, maybe you don't have Kenobi or Cat or the Bad Batch, but except for that your roster's in a great position, then I think these might be the splits for you. You can have a go with the Fleet CM with the Raddus fleet, and obviously the Fleet SM with the Negotiator fleet. As before, you're going to use Gas and Ahsoka for the gas mission. You can have a go with Padme and the 501st for the Galactic Republic CM. For the mid CM, you can do Rey with the heroes Holdo and Finn. The South Jedi CM, you can go with Luke, Yoda, Jolie, Ben and Hoda. And for the South CM, you can do Jedi Master Luke, Bastila, Shaq, Anakin and Plo. It's worth noting that Hoda and Shakti, between those two teams, quite interchangeable. And with those splits, you're then going to be able to platoon the whole Rebel fleet, along with some key units of BB-8, Jedi Knight Revan, JTR, the CLS Rebel team. So that's going to help out your guild for someone who maybe doesn't have quite as good a roster as you. So that was my guide to Republic Offensive Phase 2. Hopefully that was beneficial and you've seen some things that are going to help you split your roster up in a way where you're going to have super effective combat clears and you're still going to be able to platoon really useful units for your guild and the other guild members. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends, guilds, shards, etc. You can join my Discord server. There's a link to it in the description. There we talk about Conquest, TB, TW, Grand Arena, modding, Arena, Fleet, all the counters to all of the teams, etc. Also, you can check me out on Twitch where I'm going to be streaming my TB so you can see these principles in practice. Hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you in a couple of days for Phase 3.